दुनिया का समर्थन तो मिला.
Prime Minister Modi was doing what he relishes most.
In all your speeches, I don't think even the Congress people remember Jawaharlal Nehru ji as much as you do.
During the Operation Sindoor debate.
Views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal and do not reflect the views of any organization.
Namaskar. Hello and welcome friends once again to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog, where as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. Now, Narendra Modi ji has always been a consummate performer. Give him a stage, a mic and a captive audience and the Prime Minister will more often than not be a real showstopper. For 102 minutes in the Lok Sabha this week, Prime Minister Modi was doing what he relishes most, talking about himself in the third person while also relentlessly targeting the Congress during the Operation Sindoor debate.
ये दुर्भाग्य है कि मेरे देश के वीरों के पराक्रम को कांग्रेस का समर्थन नहीं.
Mr. Modi's speech may have been a tad too long for some, but since the Prime Minister speaks so rarely in Parliament, few will judge him extra airtime. And yet, while Mr. Modi punched hard at his critics on the government's handling of Operation Sindoor, there was a familiar name from the past that kept recurring through the Prime Minister's speech. On 14 occasions in 102 minutes, that's virtually once every 7 minutes, the Prime Minister referred to the sins of one of his predecessors, the country's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. Which leads me to ask on Straight Bat today, what explains Narendra Modi's Nehru fixation? Jawaharlal Nehru died in May 1964, when Mr. Modi was in his early teens. He was 14 at the time. Since then, India has thrown up 13 different Prime Ministers, including Modi himself. The Prime Minister's first tryst with politics was not in the Nehruvian era. It was in the age of his daughter, Indira Gandhi. It was after all the fight against the emergency as a student activist during the Navnirman movement in Gujarat that kick-started Narendra Modi's political career in the mid-70s. If there is any past Prime Minister Mr. Modi should really be aggrieved with, it ought to be Indira Gandhi, who arrested him and many hundreds of RSS Swayamsevaks during the emergency years from 1975 to 77. So why is Indira Gandhi so rarely the object of anger or derision, while Prime Minister always seems to target Nehru ji? Firstly, it must be emphasized that Nehru was unarguably the most committed secular Prime Minister this country has seen. For him, vigilant secularism was an article of faith, core to his wider political thought system, the belief that all religions deserve equal space in this country. That fervent desire on Nehru's part to ensure that India never became a Hindu Rashtra or a Hindu Pakistan meant that Nehru often tangled and took on Hindutva forces, making every effort to marginalize and yes, at times, even shun them. The assassination of Mahatma Gandhi by Nathuram Godse in 1948 only firmed up Nehru's firm resolve to challenge Hindu communalism at every juncture, seeing it as fundamentally antithetical or against his idea of a plural, multi-religious India that he spoke of so beautifully in The Discovery of India, his great book. For the RSS then, Nehru was the prime enemy figure, someone who they viscerally hated at an ideological and political level. By contrast, Indira Gandhi was a leader who the RSS felt they could engage with, perhaps even secretly admired for her staunch nationalistic credentials post-1971. And in later years, that feeling of bonhomie with Indira was embellished with a distinct soft Hindu touch that came to occupy Indira in her latter years. For Narendra Modi, who grew up in the womb of the Sangh Parivar, Nehru inevitably as a result was always seen as a villainous figure who had tried to crush the Saffron Brotherhood when he was Prime Minister. One of the most influential figures in shaping Narendra Modi's political beliefs is the RSS's longest serving chief, M.S. Golwalkar, better known as Guru Golwalkar or simply Guruji. In 2008, Modi authored a book titled Jyoti Punj or Beams of Light, in which he retold the biographies of 16 RSS men who had inspired him. Pride of place was given to Guru Golwalkar, who was compared to Buddha, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Through his long tenure as RSS Sarsang Chalak from 1940 to 1973, that's 33 years, Golwalkar saw Nehru as his principal adversary, as someone who was preventing Hindutva from gaining wider acceptability. In 1952, the RSS journal organizer even wrote that Nehru would live to regret the failure of universal adult franchise in India. When the Guruji could have such deep animus to India's first Prime Minister, could his ardent follower Modi ji be far behind? The second reason, my friends, for the acrimonious Narendra Modi versus Jawaharlal Nehru battle must lie with the Congress party itself. Post Nehru's demise, the Congress party effectively elevated Nehru into a demigod of sorts, rather than see him and project him as a democratically elected leader of post-independence India. It meant that there were these effusive hagiographic narratives built around Nehru, which prevented a serious debate on the achievements and yes, the mistakes of a prime ministerial tenure that stretched 17 long years. Preventing a more critical analysis of Nehru in the Congress era, be it on Nehruvian socialism, on his policies towards Kashmir, or indeed the 1962 war with China and the failures there, meant that the BJP seized on the opportunity once in power to systematically undermine the Nehruvian legacy at every turn. Which raises a third contentious issue, the rise of the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty. The post-Nehru Congress has been principally shaped by the dominance of dynastical politics, revolving mostly around a single family. It was Indira Gandhi who made the party a family inheritance, and yet somehow Nehruji is accused of being the progenitor or the person who created the dynastical principle, when the reality, my friends, is that it was Lal Bahadur Shastri who was his chosen successor and became Prime Minister in 1964. Among the many what-ifs is what if Shastri had not died tragically and suddenly in 1966. As the historian Ramachandra Guha writes, the actions of his descendants have deeply damaged Nehru's reputation. Not only was Nehru engraved in statues, his name was etched in public consciousness by the Congress party by a renaming spree that focused on him and other Gandhi-Nehru family members, at times to the exclusion of other freedom fighters. A Right to Information query in 2013 pointed out that as many as 450 schemes plus building projects, institutions were named after three family members, Nehru, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. Once again, this blind adoration bordering on outright chamchagiri or sycophancy has given a Modi-led BJP an opportunity to target Nehru through the actions of his heirs, those who succeeded him. Which leads one to make a final key point on Modi's Nehru fixation. For a larger-than-life Prime Minister who is completely caught up in his personality cult, who only last year saw himself as a non-biological messenger of God, भगवान ने मुझे भेजा है.
मैं जो कन्विंस हो चुका हूँ, मैं खुद कन्विंस हो चुका हूँ, मुझे दुनिया को कन्विंस करने की जरूरत नहीं है, परमात्मा ने मुझे भेजा है.
Nehru alone stands between Narendra Modi and a yearning to be recognized as India's greatest Prime Minister. Having only just surpassed Indira Gandhi as the Prime Minister with the longest continuous tenure in office, only Nehruji remains between Modi and an impressive statistical landmark. But this isn't just about record-breaking numbers, my friends. Mr. Modi needs to ceaselessly focus on Nehru, if only to convince his own followers that he is the first Indian Prime Minister to break away totally from the Nehruvian idea of India and reshape and build a new India based on the principles which the RSS is fiercely aligned with. where the RSS looks to glorify a civilizational Vedic past, ancient Hindu scriptures, take on the Mughals and more, Jawaharlal Nehru was seeking to build a modern society based on reason and science in contemporary times. To shatter the Nehruvian monopoly over ideas and intellectual thought, Narendra Modi needs to demolish first the man himself. The only way to do that, he believes, is therefore to attack every decision that Nehru took, be it on foreign policy or on the domestic front. Then be it dismantling the Planning Commission, one of the first decisions that Mr. Modi took when he came to power in 2014, or now suspending the Indus Water Treaty with Pakistan in the aftermath of Pahalgam, the larger aim is clear. Downsize Nehru by highlighting his flaws and negating his many achievements. Remember, from IITs to IIMs to AIMS, there is much that Nehru did build for the future of this country. By focusing relentlessly though on Nehru, Mr. Modi and his cheerleaders are making a cardinal mistake. The more you slander India's first Prime Minister with half-truths and lies, the more he may come alive in public imagination in contemporary India.
In all your speeches, I don't think even the Congress people remember Jawaharlal Nehru ji as much as you do.
As a postscript, amidst the recent retirement at 75 years buzz, I asked a BJP MP when, if ever, Prime Minister Modi might consider giving up the chair. Kursi kab chhodenge? Not till 2031, Rajdeep ji, at least, was the response. Why 2031? Because that is the year Narendra Modi will overtake Jawaharlal Nehru to become India's longest serving Prime Minister. Think about it. That was the straight bat. Do, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind. Namaskar.